Have you ever made a swap on Uniswap or really any DEX and you get to the end and you're looking at the numbers and something just feels a little off, like you got a bit less than you were expecting? You check the gas, you check the price, everything seems right, but it's not. Well, I'm here to tell you, you're not going crazy. There's a hidden tax out there, an invisible force that sophisticated bots are using to skim profit off of thousands of trades every single day. All right, so here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we're going to get a handle on this unseen tax and what it really is. Then we'll dissect the number one way they get you. It's called a sandwich attack. After that, we'll look at the actual data, the proof that this is happening. We'll even pinpoint a specific reoccurring danger zone. You're going to want to hear this. And finally, we'll talk about how you can actually protect yourself and trade smarter. So let's kick things off with this invisible cost. Now, to be clear, this isn't a fee from Uniswap or any other protocol. Nope, this is a cost that's being extracted from you, the everyday user, by these automated predators that are lurking in the shadows of the blockchain. And this isn't some tiny, static problem. It is growing, and it's growing fast. I mean, look at this. One intelligence report on October 11th showed a 7.1% jump in these high-risk activity windows in just one day. That shows you how quickly this whole landscape is shifting. So, what is this hidden force? Well, it has a name. Minor extractable value, or MEV for short. The easiest way to think about it is this. It's the profit that can be literally squeezed out of the system just by messing with the order of transactions in a block. These bots can see your trade before it's officially confirmed, and they can jump the line to make a profit off of you. The best analogy, really, is to think of a ticket scalper, buying up all the good seats before you can. Except this scalper is a piece of code operating at the speed of light, and it's doing it to your crypto trades. This isn't just random market movement. It is a calculated, automated strategy designed to pull value directly from retail traders. Okay, so how do these bots actually do it? How do they pull this off? Well, to really get MEV, you have to understand their signature move. It's a predatory strategy, and it's perfectly named, the sandwich attack. And here's exactly how your trade gets sandwiched. It's a simple, brutal, three-step process. 1. A bot sees your pending buy order floating around in what's called the mempool. 2. It front-runs you. It shoves in its own big buy order for that same token just milliseconds ahead of yours. What does that do? It pushes the price up. And 3. After your trade goes through at that new, slightly higher price that it created, the bot immediately sells. It backruns you, pocketing the difference as pure profit. You end up paying more, and the bot walks away with what should have been yours. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds kind of complex, maybe a little theoretical, but it's not. It's happening out in the open every single day, and the daily intelligence reports from Uniswap lay out a crystal clear data trail of all this activity. You just have to know where to look. The scale here is just staggering. In a single report from October 13th, analysts flagged over 386,000 suspicious patterns that look exactly like sandwich attacks. You do the math. That's more than 16,000 of these attacks happening every single hour. And the data doesn't just tell us how often it's happening, it tells us where. These bots have their favorite hunting grounds. They consistently go after certain pools like you see here, USDC/VFY and ETH/VFY. I mean, look at that. Hundreds of swaps getting caught in these predatory windows. And here's where it gets really interesting, because these are automated bots. They're not random, they're predictable. And if you dig into these reports, you can actually find these incredibly consistent patterns, these recurring high-risk danger zones. So let's play detective for a second. To show you just how predictable this is, we're going to look at the top MEV activity from two different intelligence reports, one from October 11th and another from just 2 days later on the 13th. Let's see if anything jumps out. Okay, here's the data from October 11th. Now look right at the top entry. You see that? A 1-second window at 11:31:01 UTC. In that single second, there were over 1,700 transactions, and it was flagged with, and I love this, extreme MEV intensity. Now, check this out. This is the report from 2 days later, the 13th. Look at the top entry. It is exactly the same time window, down to the second, 11:31:01, same transaction count, same extreme intensity rating. Folks, that is not a coincidence. That is a bot running on a schedule like clockwork. And listen, this isn't just me connecting the dots. The report itself says it plain as day. MEV remains a persistent concern with extreme intensity observed. They're telling us this is a repeatable automated strategy that is hammering specific times of the day. All right, so that's the scary part. Here's the most important part. what can you actually do about it, right? You can't outcode these bots, you can't outrun them, but you might just be able to outsmart them. And your number one defense is just knowing these patterns exist. So let's boil it down to some key takeaways. First, and this is the big one, be aware of peak MEV hours. If you know that 11:31 UTC is a feeding frenzy, maybe just wait 5 minutes to place your trade. Second, be extra careful with those high-risk pools we saw, the ones the bots love to target. Third, just change your mindset. Always remember you are trading in an environment with automated predators, not just other people. And finally, a practical tip. Try lowering your slippage tolerance on your swaps. Now, it's not a silver bullet, but sometimes a lower slippage makes the sandwich attack unprofitable for the bot, and its attack will just fail. And this all leads to a really critical question for the entire future of DeFi, right? As these automated strategies get smarter and more sophisticated, is just being aware going to be enough? How do we level the playing field for the average person in a world that is becoming more and more automated? That's the real challenge we're all facing.